Welcome to the Healist Podcast, where we inspire and guide healers through business expansion. We give voice to incredibly abundant healers to share their stories. We dive into the quantum field to unlock the energies of conscious creation. We also develop digital tools to help you grow, which you can find on healist.com. I'm your host, Yuli, and I'm grateful you chose to join this space. Now let's go deep. Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to the very last episode of 2023. I'm just so grateful for this year and for our amazing community that is built around this podcast, around Healist, and all those incredible holistic practitioners that just join our mission. And this podcast has been such a transformative outlet for me that got me to meet so many incredible people and learn from and transform in a process. And I wanted to record the solo episode because I'm still carrying this high vibrations from a week-long retreat that I just attended with one of my most profound teachers of my life, Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I feel just so grateful to be able to take this time away and really immerse myself in his teachings and the way he brings the quantum theory and into the spiritual world is just so profound. So I have so many things to share with you. But that's not all. Another amazing thing that happened just yesterday as I came back and I was working with our blog editor on an article featuring several books on the quantum field that will help you enhance your healing modality with some of those new energies and then background. One of the books I wanted to feature is A Quantum Body that just came out by Dr. Deepak Chopra. And I literally just put that book on the list. And the next morning, a friend sends me an invitation to a book launch party by Dr. Deepak Chopra here in New York City. And it was just one of those amazing, many amazing synchronicities that I experienced in my life. So I was one of the lucky people, I think, in this world that got to see literally in the span of a couple of days in-person teachings from Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Deepak Chopra. How incredible our life is. It just blows my mind. So I'm full of quantum knowledge and I had this urge to record this episode and share it with all of you while it's still fresh and it's in my field and my vibrations. So I'm super excited to share some of my learnings and what it all means for holistic healing modalities. Because listen, when we talk about quantum field, there's a lot of talk about, first of all, the physics and mechanics and how energy works and the particles and the waves and the field and all the relationships between them. There's a lot of physics into it, and it might seem very scientific and abstract, right? But at the end of the day, all we're talking about is energy. The beauty of quantum physics and all this new science coming out that is still pretty new if you think about it. Quantum mechanics are only 100 years old, which is not a long time for science and scientific community to really apply it to other parts of our lives. So what we're seeing now, it's only for the very first time we're starting to see this amazing, incredible teachers that are coming up with ways to connect the quantum theory with everything that relates to spirituality and all these alternative healing modalities that we know. And we are just touching the tip of the iceberg in terms of understanding the connections. And I think it's important to, first of all, read some of those scientific books and yes, get into the quantum physics of it because it will make you look at the world from a completely new perspective. And I spent the last year or two learning and like a sponge from every single quantum physics book that my brain can comprehend and really trying to piece it all together along with all of my knowledge of different spiritual teachings and different ancient traditions. And it's a lot. And there are some of the books that kind of help you piece together some of this knowledge. But really, because it's just happening, you have to tune in to some of those teachers that bringing us this profound connections and helping us understand not on just intuitive level how things work and how energy works and how our physical and mental and spiritual bodies are connected. You really have to understand all aspects of it, the scientific aspect, the teachings that come from the new teachers, and then kind of combine it with your own knowledge of things and with your own intuitive understanding of the world, and then eventually apply to your own healing practice. So it's a lot. It's a lot that we're kind of learning and peeling off. But at the same time, listen, you can stay in your lane and you can keep practicing your modality just as well as you did before. However, there's this huge opportunity right now for healers that are really ready to take it to the next level, to absorb some of this new knowledge and get deeper understanding of the energies and incorporate it much better into their healing modality and just take things to the next level. Be more aware of these different layers that we cannot see or sense with our five senses. And this is what, the quantum world is this extra abilities, developing these abilities to see the world, the 99.9% of the world that our senses that just don't give us access to. So it's I think, incredible skill for healers to be able to bring some of those quantum teachings into what they do, into their practice, because I really think we're unlocking huge opportunity to help humanity with anything from mental health conditions to looking at our physical body from completely different point of view and seeing it more as a projection that we can really influence from the quantum field. This is one of the deepest understandings that for me was really profound, to understand that our body in terms of quantum terms is just a particle and the field is the one that informs the particle. And we have the ability, when we access some of those unknown and worlds, the field, the 0 point field, the void, the unknown, the black space, whatever you call it, we have opportunity there to work with those energies and influence our physical bodies, our mental bodies. And there's just a huge power, and we're just uncovering some of those new aspects. And again, if you tune into some of those teachers and can bring some of this new wisdom into practice, it's just going to make it so much more powerful. Because I really see healers, and it doesn't matter which modality you practice, right? All of the modalities, whether it's ancient traditions that you're bringing in to today's world, or new techniques that were recently developed that proven to be very successful. Really, what you're doing is you're guiding people, you're guiding your clients, your patients into this new reality and peeling off layers of consciousness. And any healer, any of you who, no matter what you practice, in some way, in one way or another, you're accessing higher states of consciousness. You're working with your clients' higher selves. Hopefully you are helping them, deepening their connection with their mind, body, and spirit. And no matter what you do, you are guiding them into this new unknown, right? This new reality that we're just peeling off layers. And all of us are realizing, and so many of us realizing, that we have this whole quantum body, energetic body that influences all areas of our lives, and something that we haven't worked with before so openly. We really, many of us are just focused on, physical conditions. And of course, now there's more talk about the mental health and people are becoming more and more aware, but there is still very very little awareness of the energetic bodies when it comes to the mass audience, right? And most people. And we as healers, we know that this is what influences, most of the conditions, and how big of the energetic body plays a huge part in all aspects of our lives. So being able not to just access those parts, but really understand the science behind some of the processes, and how energy gets built up, how we attract and manifest things, how disease is created, how trauma is healed on an energetic level. I mean, all of those pieces of information are so new and so exciting. This is the new frontier. And if you as a healer can become a true guide for your clients, for people that come to you. We all know they come to you for a reason. None of your clients, right? It's a random occurrence. And we know that not just because intuitively we know. Now we have actually the quantum physics to prove that some of this, what's called the law of attraction, and the magnetism that's created, and the vibrations that we send out that attract back, similar vibrations and frequencies. We all know everything is synchronized, and everything has a beautiful order in this world. So the clients that come see you, they come there because they're attracted to your energy. There's a reason, there's a deep reason that brings them to you. So truly embrace that position, that privilege of being their guide to this new reality, and gain the knowledge and understanding of what are you guiding them towards, because you actually can become a big source of wisdom for them and inspiration, and really motivate them to go deeper in some of those layers as well, and change their life and transform their life, not just come to you as a person that they can rely on for help, but really empower them with some of this knowledge, and make them their own healers. And I do think at the end of the day, what many of the healers and some of the great ones, all we teach people how to become your own healer. And yes, we use different modalities, and we use sometimes external tools, such as whether it's herbs or or needles, whatever you use in your practice. But all of this just to help them in the process of uncovering or unlocking their own healing. So the more you get in touch with the higher consciousness and combine that with the knowledge of the quantum science, you just become so much more powerful. You become a true guide for your clients to upgrade their life, to upgrade their thinking, and open a whole new world of possibilities for them. And you have to know how to access this field. And, there's tools today, and there's practices that guide you to access this field. And I'm sure many of you who certify in different modalities, that was part of your certificate or the learning process. And a lot of the programs covering it, and many of them have also different ways to access the field. Meditation is one of the most common ways, but there's other ways to do so. But it's important that we also understand the science behind it and really understand the basic laws, right? Even if we can't go deep into some of those very scientific terms, but we really understand the basic laws of relationship between the field and the energy in the field. So that was for me one of the most kind of profound understandings, because to be frank with you, the more I get deep into some of those teachings, some of the quantum teachings, sometimes it's hard for me to find a connection to the holistic healing modalities, because a lot of them more based on the earth and this idea of connecting to nature, whether it's through herbs or like shamanic practices that are more rooted in native traditions. It seems sometimes very far away from the quantum physics field, right? And what I was trying to do towards the end of my 7 days of this immersive quantum learning experience is figure out the connection. And luckily with me, I had my dear friend Roya, who is an incredible intuitive guide and healer, she really helped to bring this last piece together because, the quantum theory talks a lot about the field and our body and our energetic body, but it doesn't necessarily talk or has much depth yet about the earth. And really the earth connection is the last missing piece when we think about this complete picture of the quantum reality. And again, Roya just pointed it out so beautifully to me that really brought it all together because a lot of the healing modalities, again, they're rooted in this earth connection. And when we start thinking about the earth connection, the quantum field, and our energetic body, it kind of always comes together because earth has its own energetic field as well. So it's just another body, a large body, right, that has its own energetic field and we can connect with. And a lot of the modalities, they are connecting to the earth through different ways, maybe some through plants, again, some through, animals and other nature elements. But it's really, at the end of the day, we're all energetic bodies that are exchanging energies and information. And I think any modality, even those that are really rooted in native traditions and really ancient techniques, can only benefit from quantum knowledge because, again, we all, I think, missing that scientific layer in this, alternative practices, something that will really help propel this field into the mainstream and create more trust and credibility and proof with people that, still struggling. They're still struggling with just understanding things intuitively. They do need that layer of data or scientific laws to apply so their brain can comprehend. And we know today that, what our brain can comprehend and analyze just absorbs much easier in our consciousness. So the more knowledge and peels of information you can give them using some of these new scientific data that's coming out today. And again, that some of those new teachers are bringing to this world. I think the more richer your practice can be and your contribution to your clients. And another point I wanted to highlight is that energy healing, even though it's a modality on its own, I'm really seeing it being more integrated in any holistic practice and not as a separate modality, but just as a layer. No matter, again, if you're practicing Chinese medicine or you're teaching yoga, just being aware of the energetic layer and how energy healing works, I think is an extremely powerful tool. So I'm really seeing it being more integrated into every holistic modality, which is it kind of is already, but in a, I would say, more unofficial or unspoken way. We all know that great yoga teachers that are really, really good at what they do and really transform lives, they do work with energies and they understand how to move energy. We know that it's not mindful fitness. It's something that can really transform a person's health and, again, energetic body. But I think it's often not mentioned and not brought up because there's still, when it comes to the mass public and, the comfort zone of the majority of the population with this energy talk, there's still this idea that it's something so alternative, or even people call it pseudoscience, right? It's still, I would say, not taken very seriously. But I think we're coming to the age when the energy work is becoming more and more acceptable and mainstream. And again, thanks to some of those scientific discoveries and connections that people are making, we can actually explain how energy works and not necessarily rely on some of the more ancient or more ethnic traditions like chakras, right? That work with the body energy centers. We can actually talk about those energy centers or the the energetic field of the body in more scientific terms. And I think that will really help a lot of people to come to terms that, energetic body exists and it's something that should be taken care of and developed. And being aware that when they work with holistic practitioners, they're going to be accessing their energetic bodies and they're going to be working together on that. And, have all the protocols that come with it when you realize, okay, there's a whole other body of light or energy that exists and we are allowing other people to work with and access. What are some of the rules of engagement when it comes to that, right? So we also, I think a lot of practitioners are developing today, and from what I'm seeing, different ways to protect their energetic bodies, to work safely with other people's energetic bodies, and just have a whole protocol of how to treat it and work with it. So I think it's another beautiful thing that we're seeing. And again, just openly being more open about integrating the energetic work into any healing modalities that you practice. I think it's going to be another big thing we're seeing. And again, just coming back to this idea of guiding people and helping them understand their own energetic bodies and their relationship with the field. And there's so many inspiring books about anything of law of attraction, manifestation, and it's been really a big buzz, the whole, create your own reality. But I think a lot of those books and teachings right now, at this very moment, they only scratch the surface of what it really is. They give you they try to translate a lot of those laws into very simplistic language and teach people how to work with it on an emotional level. However, there's a whole depth, a scientific depth of behind the law of attraction and the magnetism and the electricity that really, again, this is what powers the quantum field and a lot of this theory. So I think we're also going to be seeing a lot more people infusing more scientific terms into this idea of manifestation and attracting things. And because again, we're magnets and we need to learn to work with our own magnets, and there's so much potential and so much power. So for any of you who are coaches and teaching more of the spirituality and manifestation with your clients, this is something that is going to be extremely important to you as well, to introduce this scientific language into the whole field of manifestation of your own reality. Again, it just becomes so much more powerful. Now it will just open up your audience to people who are more analytically minded, and will allow them to grasp a lot of those ideas and implement them in their lives. I'm really excited to share some of those ideas with you and some of my understandings of the quantum theory and how it relates to the field of holistic healing. Another point I wanted to make is that I hope more healers embrace the word itself, using the word quantum in their practices and their vocabulary. I see a lot of people shy away from it because they feel like they don't have the right to use it. They don't have enough scientific background or knowledge. They're not physicists. And I do think we all have the right to use it. We all live in the quantum reality. We're just grasping the basics of it and we're getting more and more knowledge. But for someone who works in the quantum field, and all of you are, I think it's something we need to embrace because, again, it's going to add that more scientific, analytical layer to everything you do, to your practice, and help with the credibility and establishment of some of these alternative modalities. So please do embrace the word and consider yourself a quantum healer. Again, you are, my friends, on the very forefront of this new reality and you're leading the way. And I really hope in 2024, you start feeling like a true pioneer and a guide to this new world, and take charge and take your space and really own your knowledge and continue to advance your skills and develop your gifts and really serve this world. You're on a beautiful path, beautiful journey. And all of us just doing such an important work. So I just wanted to express that. And again, lots of gratitude for supporting our mission and being part of the Healers community. It just brings so much joy and fulfillment and really elevated emotions to my life. So thank you. And I cannot wait to continue our journey together in the next year.